Good morning. Good morning. It is 2:45 a.m. I am on my way to the gym right now, and I just sent out a post on Facebook, kind of like a little picture with the post inside of it. And it simply said this, that when you have faith, you ain't ever got to worry about material things. And I understand what it means or feels like to be in your how can I say this, inside of your when you're very young in the faith and you're just now getting to know or gather your relationship. But let me really kind of paint a picture that makes things a little bit more simpler. Whatever the worst situation you done been in, the absolute worst, you didn't think you was going to get out of it, situation you done been in. Let me tell you something. You got out of that situation by faith. If you think that you did something to get yourself out of it single-handedly, I got to tell you that you're living in denial. You're living in denial of the power of God. You're living in denial in the power of what faith means to bring you out of something that you never thought that you would get out of. When I had my first child, and what's crazy is I heard my pastor talking about when he had his first child, which I believe was Isaiah Steele, that he had like $23 in his pocket. $23 in his pocket. And I got to tell you something. I didn't know how I was going to make it with my first child. I had more than $23, but I never had the responsibility of another human life. I may have been with a woman at the time, but that woman could provide for herself, and I had the mindset that if we weren't to make it together, that she was old enough to and wise enough to make it on her own. But when you bring a child into it, you got to really start asking yourself, how am I going to make this one happen? See, everything else I was able to do because that was on me, but now I got another responsibility, which I think is the reason why a lot of men will walk away, because the thought of that responsibility is more than they can handle. But it was faith. If you woke up this morning, it was faith. You can get so simple with what has got you at the point that you are when it comes to faith, that you ain't ever got to worry. There's been times when I had no means of making ends meet, but yet it ended up coming together. That was faith. See, people, I'm trying to explain the fact of the matter is that you don't have to sit there and keep acting like life is delivering you up the best that it gets. When in reality, and the fact of the matter is, it's your limited faith. It's your limited belief that it will work. So since you don't believe it will work, you won't take action. And the worst thing you could do when you're trying to get somewhere is not take action and to run this pity party or fall back into this victim mode. Because nobody cares at that point. Nobody cares at that point. 120% of everything that has made me who I am has been based around my faith, because there's been so many obstacles that get thrown at an individual that it's easy to give up and quit and say, this is enough. This is it. I want to quit. I got to split. I can't take it no more. That's an option everybody has. But I'm pretty sure you can reach back into your goodie bag of your mental thoughts and you can find something that can give you the strength and the power to say, you know what? There's something else working out there. There's something else moving on my behalf. I gotta find it. I gotta get it. What is it? Because for all the people that have moved in and out of my life who have not been consistent, things have always managed to work out. It's only when I take my eyes off of faith and I start focusing on the people moving in and out my life do things start to get a little bit crazy. But when I grew out of that, people needing to be around, things needing to be around, and I started saying, hold up, maybe those things are distractions. I said, but things were able to work out when these people coming and moving in and out of my life weren't there. There was still miracles happening in my life. Don't take those miracles for granted. Don't take your faith for granted. Don't assume that everything is happening by chance. There's nothing that happens by chance. I was listening to the story of Jonah and the fish, in the belly of the fish. And God told Jonah to go somewhere. And this story was so bananas because they were talking about how the will of God is constantly on you. You can deny it. You can self-destruct and keep yourself out of it, but God never withdraws from you. Because he told Jonah to go somewhere. Jonah said, dude, I ain't with that. I'm going this way. So God said, okay, bruh. All right. Jonah got on a boat. The people on the boat threw him over the water, left him for dead. There was a fish sitting there. Fish swallowed him up, spit him out 3 days later on dry land. Jonah decided to go where he needed to go because Jonah knew that he was still in the will of God. Dude, if you're still here, you're still in the will of God. If you're still here, you still have a shot. But you got to give up on thinking that you making this happen. You got to move into your faith. You have to move into your faith. Because as long as you stay in the flesh, you're going to be feeling fleshly things. You're going to be thinking fleshly thoughts. And you're going to only think that it's going to happen based on your circumstances. Jonah fell in the mouth of a fish. God said, I ain't done with you by any means necessary. I'm going to resuscitate you regardless of your own ignorance. And regardless of your own ignorance, regardless of my own ignorance, I am still here. The gun that was pointed at my face jammed. The bullets that were whizzing at me went around me. Are you not hearing me? I am still here. You are still here. At which point are you going to relent and just say, I give it to you. Do with me as you please. Because as long as you keep doing it and trying to do it your way, I'll tell you like they do in real estate. Just like they do in real estate. I was always taught that I end up screwing up the transaction the moment I go back and start messing with paperwork. My job is not to deal with paperwork. I hire somebody to do that. You know why? Because I am best utilized doing what I do best, which is handling and dealing with my clients, negotiating contracts. Leave the paperwork for people who do paperwork. And when you stop touching things that you ain't got no business touching, you'll start seeing your life shift in a better direction than you ever thought possible. That's a Monday word for you. Take that. You're welcome. Make something of it.